suicide, opinionated homicide.
And we are back with Hour 2 of Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rents Radio Network. And I have got to tell you that the guest in this hour, I watched every episode of Wise Guy. I think I've seen every film that this actor has ever been in. And I think that what you're going to hear from this gentleman tonight is that nobody, and I do mean nobody, has the slightest clue who Mr. Ken Wahl is, or at least not when it comes to what he thinks of his country. We are welcoming actor Ken Wahl, who is a award-winning actor and director, Golden Globe winner, 3 Emmy nominations for acting as well as directing. He is best known for his highly acclaimed series Wise Guy. He has starred in 12 movies, starting with The Wanderers, Fort Apache, The Bronx with Paul Newman, Jinx with Bette Midler, The Favor with Brad Pitt, Purple Hearts with Cheryl Ladd, Dirty Dozen, etc. He was actually forced to retire due to major work in the movies, and after receiving a broken neck and severe spinal injuries, he left acting. Welcome to the program, Mr. Wahl.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let me ask you, we just had James Herson on Hollywood, on the program the last 30 minutes, and he was talking about entertainers who have conservative political points of view, and the fact that they are attacked and in most cases don't tend to work anymore unless they're entertainers that have established themselves beyond a point of having to rely on people. How were you treated, or did anybody know? And by the way, where do you stand on politics in this country?
Well, I'm voting for Romney for a start, if that helps you out. Listen, I never had any problem with that because the way I was raised to speak my mind and to stick up for what I believe in. Now, this notion that people who have conservative viewpoints don't work as much as those who don't, I don't really believe that because these people in Hollywood have very few principles. One of their main principles that they follow is to make money. So if you're a conservative, but you're making money for the production, for the studio or the production company, you're going to work. If you're not necessarily going to make money for them, then you won't work regardless of how you think.
Okay.
So personally, I never had any problem with it. If I ever got in a discussion with anybody about politics, I said what I felt.
So you're saying you're voting for Mitt Romney. Tell me why you're supporting Romney.
Well, it's mainly because I'm against Obama. I don't want to get into all the tiny little details, but I don't care for Obama's character. I think that he said some things off the cuff that really show his character. Number one being you didn't build that. Not only was it what he said, it was how he said it. You didn't build that, meaning listen, American citizens, if you read between the lines on that, American citizens, you owe the government a lot more than the government owes you. If it wasn't for the government, you wouldn't be here. I mean, that's his attitude. That alone, right there, makes me not want to have anything to do with the guy.
Well, let me ask you this. I know that you actually support certain causes like Veterans of Foreign War, the Wounded Warrior Project,
yes, I do.
And Pets for Patriots, etc.
Right.
How does Obama's actions when it comes to the military, when it comes to Benghazi, when it comes to our veterans, how does that affect you, and what do you think he should have done differently?
Oh man, how long do we have?
As long as you need.
The whole thing with Libya was, well, I think like a lot of people do, that there was a cover up there. The whole thing just doesn't smell right. The way that it was portrayed, the way the information was given to us. I just don't like it. There's something there. I'm not saying I know what it is, but there's a lot more there than what's been given to us. But you know what? the further point that I wanted to make about Obama is that the real crime committed, I think, is the corrupt media. Because I believe if it weren't for the incredibly corrupt media, there would be no Obama. Because if we remember 4 years ago, he came out of nowhere, and the media just embraced him and acted like he was the second coming of Jesus Christ, and it just took hold. And they're saying now that we shouldn't elect Romney because we know very little about him. But you can't tell me that we know any less about Romney now than we did about Obama 4 years ago.
Well, let me turn that around a little bit. Do we even know any more about Barack Obama in 2012 than what we knew in 2008?
Well, yes, I think we do. And those points that I made before about his character. You know, I don't think that we know him as much as we should, but in my opinion, the character that he has exposed to us makes me want him out.
Okay. And, I mean, here's a question. I see, especially, and this I try to ask anybody that supports the Wounded Warrior Project or veterans of foreign wars. Have we disrespected our veterans and our current military men and women in this battle to do away with Don't Ask, Don't Tell, to force certain situations within our military structure?
Yes, to answer your question, yes. I don't think you can do enough for the veterans. I think it's, you know, when we're brought up in freedom, it's easy to take it for granted. And I don't think that most people realize the sacrifice that these guys put out. And we can't do enough for them. As far as the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, I don't really understand that much, what the big fuss is one way or the other. I mean, if you want to serve in the military, in spite of your orientation, who cares? As long as you don't infringe that orientation on others. Personally, I don't care one way or the other about that one.
Right, and I can understand that. And the reason I brought that up, Ken, is because you have to. I think people fail to understand, and the only reason I know is because my brother served 22 years in the United States Army.
Well, thank you for me.
I truly will do that. It's my view that the Don't Ask, Don't Tell was a way that people could live their lives and serve their country. And I'm a firm believer we don't have heterosexuals going around announcing or publicizing their sexual orientation or their sexual exploits. And I think that when we push a situation to where we allow people to circumvent the structure of the military and use it as a means to bring litigation, and I think that by doing away with Don't Ask, Don't Tell was more a lawyer's dream come true.
Oh, sure.
Then it was about respecting individuals' rights and allowing people to serve. And I just think that Don't Ask, Don't Tell allowed people to serve their country and be who they are and live their life.
That's right.
And that's kind of why I asked that question.
Yeah, I completely agree with that assessment. And at the very least, it's just an incredible distraction to what is truly important. You know,
exactly.
If the person in the military, or anywhere else for that matter, if you want to be with porcupines, that's your business. Just don't infringe it upon me. You know, don't infringe it. Don't make it harm anyone else. That's all there is to it.
So, are you actively campaigning for Romney?
No, I'm not. Well, unless you count this. I consider this actively campaigning because I've never been one to do much publicity, even before I was forcibly retired.
I was going to say you have always been an extremely private person, even when you were performing. Yes,
yeah, at my peak, especially when I was performing, I was very private. But I tell you, I felt compelled to come out and talk about these things now. That's how strongly I feel about them. Because I feel that in most cases, I feel that even though I'm no longer active in that business, I have an unfair advantage because I used to be in that business, and that it has given me the advantage to be able to talk to people like you. And I've always felt that actors have had an unfair advantage because just by virtue of their job, they're able to spout their opinions where a normal person is not.
Exactly. Well, Ken, I'm going to ask you to hold that thought real quick. We're coming up on commercial break. When we come back, we'll pick up with where we left off, which is Ken saying that he is using his celebrity to make it known he supports Mitt Romney over Barack Obama, and we'll continue with award-winning actor Ken Wahl after these brief messages. You're listening to Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rense Radio Network. We'll be right back.
Scientists in England have succeeded in stabilizing the time-honored substance in garlic that destroys harmful bacteria, viruses, molds, yeast, and fungus. This all-natural microbe killer is called Allicin C, and it's now available to you in 100% vegetarian capsules only on the New Earth page at Rense.com. This powerful broad-spectrum antimicrobial agent is harmless to friendly bacteria and has been concentrated to equal an astonishing 35 cloves of garlic in each vegetarian capsule. Think about it. The antibacterial, antiviral strength of 35 odorless cloves of garlic in just one capsule. Allicin C is so effective it even destroys superbug MRSA in test after test. Allicin C is truly an incredible advance in natural medicine, and with the threats of bacterial and viral diseases and pandemics growing, no home should be without it. Learn more and order Allicin C on the New Earth page at Rense.com.
Remember this name, Carnivora. That's CARNIVORA.com. What if I told you that this 100% pure and natural product was delivered directly to the White House at President Reagan's personal request at a time when only the president was able to obtain it? Reagan used this amazing product, Carnivora, successfully, a product derived only from nature that has the intelligence to instinctively attack abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell, and the power to actually wake up critical immune cells from dormancy to attack foreign invaders that don't belong in our bodies. Carnivora is now obtainable by anyone who wants to get healthy and stay that way. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY and protect yourself with 17 naturally occurring compounds that will unleash powerful immune defense. That's 1-866-VENUS-FLY. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY and get your Carnivora today. Visit carnivora.com.
Known worldwide as the most consistently fascinating, informative, and unique program on radio, the Jeff Rense program can be yours to listen to anytime, anywhere, whenever you want to hear it. For pennies a day, our subscribers can download any of Jeff's thousands of programs featuring a treasury of newsmakers, researchers, eyewitnesses, and incredible subjects, all in MP3 commercial-free, crystal-clear 56-bit digital sound, and take these often unforgettable programs with them wherever they go. As a subscriber, you can also listen live at airtime, online, anywhere in the world, or browse through our archives of over 10,000 hours of legendary broadcasts. Subscribe now by taking the link at the top of Rense.com and enrich your mind with the most unique panorama of vital information and the best independent, honest journalism in radio. Look for the Subscribe Now link on Rense.com and give yourself the knowledge you need for these unprecedented times.
And you're listening to Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rense Radio Network. We are speaking with award-winning actor and director Ken Wahl. And Ken's making it clear that he supports Mitt Romney and definitely does not support Barack Obama. Ken, if you could tell voters one thing before they go to the polls tomorrow, what would be that one thing?
All you have to do is listen to what he said today. He said about the best way to show the Republicans who's bought. I'm paraphrasing here, but he did say, let's get revenge on them by voting. And just the fact that he would say something like that, that to me is enough right there. And that was just today that he said that. To get revenge on the other party, this is who we want leading our country? No, thank you.
Well, you know, I've got a theory on that. I don't think what Obama has said as far as getting revenge is anything that's new about him. I think that's who Barack Obama has always been.
I agree. I totally agree, but it seems that, you asked me what would I tell voters before they go out to vote. I would tell them that this is nothing new. It's just the most recent thing that he's done. But if you paid attention to him over the last 4 years, this is the way he's always been. Open your eyes, open your ears.
Do you believe that Mitt Romney will pull this out tomorrow, or do you think there's even a chance that Barack Obama can win this?
I think there's always a slight chance that he might win, but I really do think that Romney will win. I think that there are a lot of people that will vote for Romney secretly. And what I mean by that is that they are too afraid they're closeted conservatives. And I think that a lot of them in 2008 felt like maybe this is the right time, to bring history about the vote for the first black president, which is fine. But it's got nothing to do with that anymore. And I think a lot of people have been disillusioned by him. But they would still be reticent to say that they don't support him anymore. So I believe that there's a lot of them saying with the polling that, oh, yes, I'm for Obama, but I think that when they get into the booth, they're going to pull the lever for Romney. I really do.
Well, I think you've pointed out something. I think people are, even in 2012, and this was something that we saw in the 2008 campaign. It's something that we saw in the midterms in 2010, where people were, in certain areas, just scared to even display their support or even openly acknowledge what candidate they were supporting.
That's right, and look what happened in the 2010 elections. I mean, he got, I forgot what his word was, but I mean, they got annihilated in the 2010 election.
Shellacking?
That was it, yes, shellacking, that was
it. You can tell I pay attention to some things, huh?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Well, I think you're right. I do believe at this point that this election has pretty much been decided. We have
and if I may interject, there's another thing about him that he said today, too. Now, here's a guy, and here's an administration that's supposed to be for the little guy, that's supposed to be for the so-called 99%ers. What does he say in Iowa today? Or he's going to Iowa, and he said it's going to be his last campaign stop, and I'm doing it with Bruce Springsteen. Not too bad. Yeah, like, he's a real man of the people. He's always got to be surrounded by rich and famous entertainers. And that's the other thing, and there's such hypocrisy with that. When he's always constantly being with these people to get money off of them, and yet he's always saying he's for the little guy. Preposterous.
Well, I think anyone that knows anything about Barack or Michelle Obama would understand something about him, and that is that Barack Obama nor Michelle Obama, do they ever really say what they really mean?
Only if they're caught off guard.
Exactly. I mean, this is definitely a situation to where, they're going to play this to the hilt, and they're going to play it to their benefit. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind about that. We'll just have to see if voters are a little more in tuned.
I hope
so. Well, so what are you up to these days?
Now, how do you mean exactly?
I mean, what do you spend your time doing besides letting people see reruns of Wise Guy? And I know you've got a website out there.
Yes, I'm pretty much a silent partner on the website. So.
I understand that, but give them the website location anyway, because you do still have a lot of fans out there.
Well, that's nice to know, I guess. I don't even know what the website address is, to be honest with you. You know who runs it is a friend of mine who happens to be Willie Nelson's daughter.
Right, and
hey, what's
actually,
what's my website address?
Oh, yeah, theofficialkenwahl.com.
Okay. Sorry about that. theofficialkenwahl.com.
Okay. I was going to tell our listeners, we actually have a link to it up on the homepage at sinclairnews.net. I didn't mean to put you through all that.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Well, I'll tell you what, you coming on the program tonight, I'm going to give you something that you might enjoy hearing. Matt Romney, one of Governor Mitt Romney's sons, will be coming on here at 7:45 tonight.
Oh, fantastic.
And we passed on to the Romney campaign that you would be on the program tonight announcing your support of Mitt Romney. So.
Oh, great.
All right, Ken, do you have time to stay with us for one more segment?
I do.
All right, you're listening to Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rents Radio Network. We'll be back speaking with award-winning actor and director Ken Wahl after these brief messages.
I was born in America, made in the USA.
I remember Bob Ross painting happy little pictures. Phyllis Zito was a permanent fixture. Daydreaming through the science class lectures. My first kiss behind the high school bleachers. My mom's meatballs, my grandma's sauce, and Vicky's cookies, chocolate s'mores. Thor, dental hygiene's lost. Fiddlers, dug in hands, can make a chocolate to eat dental floors. California, seeing the sights, getting drunk, looking up at the Napa Valley moonshine. Gazing at the stars in the Hollywood nights as the stars walk by my side. I heard Lady Liberty lost her crown as I was searching for my country at the lost and found. Fell in love at first sight, messing around. He had the cutest little nose against the window at the door he found.
I'm American made.
Charlie McGrath of Wide Awake News here with an important message from Chris, Phil, Russ, Tyler, and the rest of the folks at BuyEmergencyFoods.com. Do not wait until it's too late to be prepared for disaster. The world's a crazy place. Ever-present threat of man-made political and economic crisis makes it important to be prepared. But when you factor in natural disasters, it goes from being important to being mandatory. 7.7 earthquake in Canada, 6.5 earthquake in Central America, and over 50 million Americans affected by Hurricane Sandy, all in the span of just a few days. Make Legacy Premium freeze-dried storable food part of your preparedness plan today. Legacy Premium tastes great, has a 25-year shelf life, and is the only certified non-GMO freeze-dried storable food in the business. I recommend the 360 serving package. That's 120 days worth of life-sustaining calories for about $1.25 a serving. Please call them at 888-543-7345. Again, 888-543-7345, or better yet, visit them online at BuyEmergencyFoods.com.
American Masters Painting, a family-owned and operated business beautifying homes in Northern Virginia for over 30 years. American Masters craftsmen serve all of your painting, staining, and wood refinishing needs. American Masters not only guarantees to deliver satisfying results, they also promise a positive, rewarding, and personalized experience to your complete satisfaction. American Masters Painting is recognized for its flawless expertise in all custom interior and exterior projects. For a free and timely estimate, contact American Masters Painting toll-free at 888-760-7760 or visit AmericanMastersPainting.com. And remember, when you're thinking American Masters Painting, you're thinking one family serving another, one project at a time. American Masters Painting is a proud sponsor of Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rents Radio Network.
You're listening to the Rents Radio Network, coast to coast on the Galaxy 19 KU band satellite, nationwide and worldwide on the internet, and of course, on rents.com.
Are chemtrail geoengineering programs changing our weather and destroying our environment? Why in the world are they spraying?
They want to create a storm in the southeast, then they'll start engineering out over the North Pacific. That's where the tragedies will be.
Find out why critics are calling Why in the World Are They Spraying the most important film that is revolutionizing the environmental movement.
It's just going to get worse until the point where we're not going to be able to grow anything at all unless it's a Monsanto genetically modified abiotic stress drought-resistant seed.
Why in the world are they spraying? New international version with languages available from around the world. For 1 month, Rinse listeners receive free shipping. Go to the banner on the front of the Rinse website and click on the link for more info.
It's all about money, and weather is another form of commoditizing, a way the Central Command Group can commoditize another form of our life.
Why in the world are they spraying?
And if you control the weather, you're going to control the planet. It's that simple.
Will 2012 bring the Mayan end of world or the global banking collapse? In 2007, one man, Mike Dillard, made 5 predictions which forecasted the 2008 economic crisis and the pending Eurozone collapse. This week, Mike unleashes 3 brand new, shocking, must-watch videos with predictions for the coming year. www.the3videos.com. Over the past year, Mike Dillard has helped thousands of ordinary people create and recover wealth by tapping into the black box investing strategies the big banks don't want you to know about. www.the3videos.com. As the European banking system implodes and governments collapse at breakneck speeds, the next 12 months will be the most anticipated and important months in modern human history. This will make 2008 look like a walk in the park. Everyone will be affected. Go to www.the3videos.com now. Learn how to prepare your family and prosper during the global financial collapse.
You're my soldier boy, a man amongst men. You're my soldier boy, a man amongst men. You're my soldier boy, a man amongst men.
And welcome back, everybody. You are listening to Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rinse Radio Network. We are speaking with award-winning actor and director Ken Wahl, and it's befitting that Toot Sweet's Soldier Boy music was the bump intro back from this commercial break, because Ken supports the Wounded Warriors Project as well.
Yes.
Ken, what would you tell listeners to do? Would you suggest that they go to woundedwarriorsproject.com and help out?
Yes, absolutely, if they can. And believe me, I know how difficult it is for so many people. And one of the things that I think helps keep us going is that we always know that somewhere somebody's got it worse. So it's very difficult for me to ask people to send money, but especially in these times. But if there's any way that you can, it would be greatly appreciated. And remember that how hard those guys work and how much they sacrifice for all of us to be in that position, that unfortunate position that they're in now. So any help is greatly appreciated.
Speaking of veterans, you know, there's been some claims running around during this election cycle that a Mitt Romney presidency will mean more war. Do you think that's a fair assessment, or do you think people are just simply trying to scare the hell out of people to keep Obama in office?
Yes, complete political scare tactics. I don't believe that at all. I mean, I think he's going to be I think that a lot of the problems that we've had over the past 4 years is because of our perceived weakness instead of our strength. That is, in that thing in Benghazi, I think that they were so crass, they were so emboldened because they know, hey, Obama's not going to do anything. Or maybe he'll send in a drone or two, when he gets around to it. But I think that these terrorists that would do harm to us are completely emboldened with Obama in office. I mean, just look at the Fort Hood thing, where that colonel went berserk and killed all those poor people, and they wanted to just treat that as a regular murder.
It's a workplace violence, exactly. They refer to it as work.
You've got to be kidding me. I mean, that's what I'm saying. These pent-up things that I feel over the last 4 years is what makes me feel compelled to come out and just shout it out loud to anybody that would care to listen. Please, we got to replace this man. We gave him a shot. Okay, that's the American way. He had his time at bat, swing and a miss. It's time to get a new guy at bat now.
You know, I did some interviews with some people that were outside the Michelle Obama rally here in Daytona Beach on Thursday. And some of those individuals are saying that we need to give him a chance to see what he can do over the next 4 years. And your response to that is?
You've got to be kidding me. Why would the next 4 years be any different from the last 4 years? There's no evidence that it would be any different. What's he going to do? Triple the deficit this time around? Quadruple it? You know, hey, let's go for $50 trillion. That's a nice round number. I mean, where is it going to end? There's got to be some point where we say, hold on a minute. It's not like you had 2 weeks to be president and give it a shot. We gave you the full 4 years. And believe me, if a Republican had done some of the things that Obama had done, they'd be screaming for his head. But here's where the corrupt media comes in, is that they let Obama slide on everything. And that's another reason to replace him right there. At least you know when Romney gets in there that the Fourth Estate is going to be on their game. They're going to hold his feet to the fire. They're not going to let him get away with anything like they did with Obama. And that is very dangerous because, in my opinion, the Obama has just turned into a propaganda machine for Obama.
Right.
There's nothing objective about it at all. And,
okay.
you know, this is one of the things that really got me going very early on when people first started hearing about Obama. And I'd have discussions with people, and they'd say, you know, we got to give him a chance. This is a time now and all that. And Fox News doesn't like it. They would start complaining about Fox News. And I would say, and I really wasn't a consumer of Fox News at that, not in any great degree anyway. And I'd say, what is your problem with Fox News? Well, they're so conservative. I said, wait a minute. You've got a complaint with Fox News. You've got ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN. What else? So it's like 5 against 1, and you're worried about one conservative station? It's like then you have no dissenting opinion whatsoever. I said, how can a democracy run that way? And I think that you've seen the decline of democracy with Obama because of the media. And I say, it's not Obama's fault for wanting that. Anybody would want that to get a free pass. But it's the media's fault for allowing it.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you, I've covered this election and got really involved in it since last fall. And I have had the opportunity to talk face-to-face with some of the Romney brothers, or some of the Romney sons. Craig, who I find completely engaging, open, funny. It's, you know, like you're talking to someone that you've known your whole life. And I think the media has gone and tried to portray Mitt Romney as something that he's not. I think that they've tried to portray his family that way.
Of course they did. That's why he did so well in the first debate. You know, there were so many people that thought that Romney had horns growing out of the back of his head. And then when he did the first debate and showed himself for who he really is, that's when he shot up, because they said, hey, he seems like a really decent guy. He's not some demon like they've tried to make him out to be. And that's what happens if you listen to the mainstream media. That's the impression you would get.
You know, and it's unfortunate. It truly is unfortunate. But
well, I think it's beyond unfortunate. I think it's downright dangerous. Because when you get into a situation where the media is acting as propagandists, where do you go from there? If you're not allowed anything, if you're not allowed to say anything against our great leader, what does that remind you of? And it's amazing. It's only been 23 years since the Berlin Wall fell. And to go from that in less than a quarter of a century to this, where the media, as I said, acts as propagandists for the president, it's mind-boggling.
Well, Ken, I can tell you this. You coming out tonight, announcing your support for Mitt Romney, I think the Romney sons who are coming on after this commercial break is going to appreciate that. I hope to have you on the program in the near future, if you don't mind, because I know there's some other things you're involved in that I think people would like to hear about.
I'd be happy to if you'll have me.
Thank you so much. And this is award-winning actor and director Ken Wahl. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rents Radio Network. When we come back from this commercial break, we will have not one, but two Romney sons on the program for the last segment. We'll be right back.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Heart and Body Extract has a 23-year proven track record of using certified organic herbs that make up an excellent formula to balance and support the heart and circulatory system. In as little as 2 weeks, you can feel amazing results when your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
If you're taking 1, 2, 5, or more nutritional supplements, please stop. Simplify your supplementation with Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Men, women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com. And now take just one nutritional supplement instead of many. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products composed with 4 of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and mood. If you can increase brain health, the rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood has 0 toxicity and is safe for you and your family. Learn more and order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioAge.com, spelled BIOAGE.com, BioAge.com, or call 877-288-9116. That's 877-288-9116. BioAge, the age of advanced organics.
Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rinse Radio Network. And tonight, joining us for this last segment, please welcome Matt and Josh Romney to the program. Gentlemen?
Hi, this is Josh.
Welcome to the program, Josh. Is your brother Matt there?
He is hopping on right now. He should be calling in on the other line.
Okay, yeah, it's telling me that they've got both of you guys on. How are you guys feeling about your dad's chances tomorrow?
We're feeling pretty good. I think as we travel across the country and the energy level we're seeing and all the enthusiasm, I don't think there's a poll in the world that can measure how much enthusiasm the conservative movement has right now and what we're going to do tomorrow. We're feeling really good about it. We're seeing just, these rallies that we're holding all across the country, just thousands of people showing up. So we're feeling really good about it.
Well, I think it was Matt that I heard on the Dennis Prager show a couple of weeks ago, and the gentleman filling in for Dennis had asked how you guys were going to go back to your normal lives at the end of this campaign cycle, and he said, well, we'll just go back, and the host said, I don't think you guys are ever going to go back to your normal lives. How is this election, if your dad wins tomorrow, how is it going to change you guys? How's it going to make life for you guys? Because you guys have been behind him.
We've been campaigning and doing everything we can for so long, and we've been doing everything we can. I'll tell you how it's going to make my life different. Is it's going to make my kids' futures better. And, this is why we're in this thing, I'm thinking about my kids and the fact that each of them right now owes $50,000 as part of their share of the federal deficit, and I know that with my dad as president, that the economy is going to get better. Their future is going to be brighter. For me personally, I hope this election changes as little as possible for my life. I'll head back home and go back to work, and to go back to my life as normal as much as possible. I'm sure there'll be some differences, but really, this is an election we're fighting for my kids, for future generations, for people who've been suffering under this Obama economy.
Matt, are you on the line with us?
Matt's not on yet. He's not on yet.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Josh, I had a chance to talk with your brother Craig in Tampa.
Oh, yeah? Yeah,
and
great.
Yeah, and I told him, this was before I heard the stories about at the Republican convention that Thursday night, about how Craig has been the difficult one, not really the difficult one, but the one that had a little more energy as a kid. And yeah. I told Craig at that event at Liberty Plaza that your dad and you guys are going to win this if you will let people know who you are and get to see you for the true, real people that you are. And Craig was just like so open and so down to earth and so funny. Do you think you guys have managed to get that across to the American voter at this point?
I certainly hope so. I mean, that's the battle we have, is that we want people to see who my dad really is, what he stands for, and what kind of person he is. And that's been our goal all along, is to get that out there. And, I think a lot of Americans had their real first chance to see my dad unfiltered, without an Obama filter or media filter, really just to see him, face to face on the debate. And, I just thought he did such a great job there. Getting a huge surge in support from the time of those debates on. We've just seen, people really coming to our help and making calls and knocking doors and doing so much volunteer work for us. We're totally energized by it. Yeah, I think at those debates, people got to see who my dad really is, what's in his heart, why he's in this race.
I have to ask you and Matt both, I see the pride in your father's eyes and in the tone of his voice when he talks about his kids on the campaign trail, but I also saw the pride in some of his kids' eyes at Liberty Plaza in Tampa this past August. Yeah. You guys have got to be extremely proud of what your father has accomplished.
We really are so proud of him. We were filled with emotion at the convention in Florida, not only for pride, of my dad, but also my mom, to see her up there speaking like that in front of that group, and, to have people supporting them. It was a moment of great pride for us. And but it's also one of honor. I mean, we feel like this is really an opportunity for my dad to serve. He's been blessed with a lot of talent, a great background, and this is his opportunity to give back. And so, we're proud of the opportunity that he's going to have to serve. And we the tough part is just getting him elected. Once we do that, he'll take care of the rest. And I really look forward for the opportunity for America to see how he can act in office. His ability to turn things around, his ability to fix problems, to focus, and that's what we're excited about. That's what we're working hard towards, is to give him an opportunity to get in there and show leadership.
How has it been for you guys? Because, look, both of you guys are married and have children. I mean, you guys have been on this campaign trail from the very beginning. Like I said, Matt, I thought it was you that was on the Dennis Prager program that I was listening to while I was up in D.C. a couple of weeks ago. And they asked the same question. I mean, you guys have committed every ounce of energy and time that you've had to helping your dad. When this thing's over tomorrow, you guys are going to feel a little lost, aren't you?
I'm personally, and we'll see how Josh feels, but personally, I'm going to feel really good, because we all want to feel like we left everything on the field and just gave it our all to make sure that everybody knows who my dad is. That's what Josh and I are fighting to do, is give people a window into, my dad's soul and his character. Because the more people get to know him and the better they get to know him, the more they'll like him. He's got such good character. He's got such good principles and values. We know him as a father, as a grandfather, and a husband to my mom. And hopefully we're giving people just a glimpse into that. We try to tell stories out on the trail. So we're all working extremely hard, and hopefully we leave everything on the field, so that, come Wednesday morning, we wake up and feel good about our effort and see that it paid off.
No, I'll try and answer that without any sports analogies, and I'll just say we're on our way to our last we're on our way to our last event right now, and it's a little strange to think we've been doing this for so long. there will be elements that I really miss a lot, and but I'm really looking forward to having my dad as president and ushering in a new era and a new way that we can help my dad and help him save and turn around this country.
Well, I will tell you both something. Actor Ken Wahl, who starred in the Wise Guy series, came on the program in the top of this hour and endorsed your father and said that he felt compelled to come out and do so. I can tell you this. I have watched you guys campaign. I personally know people working on behalf of the campaign. I think you guys have done an exceptional job. I have just one more question. Please tell our listeners, is your dad really so cheap that he would put the first light bulb that he has in the house and a piece of aluminum foil over the hood range?
Yeah, I'm worried. We should be a little worried about what he's going to do in the White House. But I think as long as there's a dignified guest coming, he'll use the nice light bulb.
But
you
know
what's interesting though? What's interesting is that I can't wait for Congress to go and ask for more money for my dad, because we know what the answer is. The answer is always no. You got to live within your means, and that he taught us that growing up, and he's a great example of that. He's one to not waste, and so I know that when it comes to the deficit, he's going to want to balance the budget, and he's going to do that by example. So I'm looking forward to that moment, because that is a character of his.
I was going to tell you that it also points out that we would prefer to have someone in the White House that would pinch pennies as opposed to spending $1.4 billion in extravagances.
No question, right.
So it will definitely be a good change. Gentlemen, I know you're rushed. Tell voters that are listening what you want them to do come 7 a.m. their local time tomorrow morning.
Get out and vote first thing. And then as soon as you've had the chance to vote, start driving your friends and family members and anyone you can think of to the polls. Make sure we get as many people out to support my dad as possible. We've got to do it. There's too much at stake not to get involved and not to vote.
Well, I will tell you something. I don't think your mother and your father could be any prouder of the family effort to support your father that you guys have demonstrated.
Thank you so much.
I personally find all of you to be young men of character, and please tell Craig I see he took my advice. He told his dad to go out there, shake hands, and relax and just be funny.
Absolutely. We'll do it. Thank you so much.
We'll call him right now and let him know. Thanks. Good to be with you.
Thanks, guys. Have fun at your last event, and get ready for Victory Party tomorrow.
That's right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. And that was Matt and Josh Romney joining us, and I didn't want to have to rush it, but they are actually busy, and they are heading off to, as they said, their last campaign event for the evening. Look, this election has come down to tomorrow. You've got James Herson, who's come on here and told you that what you're hearing from liberal Hollywood isn't even close to being factual. You've got Ken Wahl, who has been known his entire life for being an extremely private and quiet individual who felt compelled to come out tonight and endorse Governor Mitt Romney. You've got Wayne Allen Root, who spent 30 minutes giving you the argument as to why Mitt Romney should be the person that you cast your ballot for tomorrow in getting this country back together. Bottom line is you're going to have to make whatever decision is comfortable for you. I do believe that at this point in the game, we have come to a place to where you could not find two more different visions for this country. And it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think anyone could say that the Romney campaign and the Romney family has not given every ounce that they've had to give in this election cycle. And I'm going to come out right here, right now, and tell you the polls and everything else says that Governor Romney will be a victor tomorrow. I hope that that is the case, because I personally could not imagine another 4 years of Barack Obama in the White House if it saved my life. But I also know that there's some crooked crap going on out there. And I know that if Governor Romney comes out the victor tomorrow night, I see legal challenges ahead, and I saw them the minute Sandy was being used as an excuse for possibly delaying the election. We will see. But I will tell you this. Tomorrow night, America will have a better idea of which direction it is headed. Thank you to all of our guests this evening. You have been listening to Through the Mirror with Larry Sinclair on the Rense Radio Network. I will see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be doing the program both hours, all 5 nights a week, beginning this week. In the meantime, remember, get up, go out, vote, and take every person that has not cast a ballot yet that you know of and drive them to the polls. Voter turnout is imperative. Until then, good night.
Heard around the world he never saw, coming from a shout score. Looks like I picked another bloody loser. Betting all the media will do that to ya.
Are you a contender?
Hell yeah.
Or just a pretender? You gotta be the man. Stand up and defend. Welcome to the main event. Here we go.
Oxygen. It's nature's oldest therapy and plays an essential role in destroying viruses, bacteria, mold, yeast, and fungus, and keeping the human body healthy and strong. Now, you can give your body and your immune system a mega boost of disease-fighting oxygen with all-natural Oxy-C. With so many people now leading a sedentary indoor lifestyle, most are in a chronic state of oxygen deprivation, which sets up a perfect environment for disease, general fatigue, and a host of other symptoms. Oxy-C is yours in simple, convenient capsules. Nothing to mix, nothing to hassle with. Take it with juice or water anytime. Feel a cold or flu approaching? Have no energy or spark anymore? Try all-natural Oxy-C and prepare to be amazed. Oxy-C is only available from New Earth Health Solutions at Rense.com. Look for the New Earth banner at Rense.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Rentz. Royal Raymond Rife was without question the most gifted medical scientific genius of our age. He discovered that most disease-related microbes die quickly when exposed to their own specialized resonant radio frequencies. The BCX411 Rife-type frequency instrument has received the highest praise on several continents for its precision, simplicity of operation, and successful research experiment. The BCX, with its comprehensive manual, allows you to select the frequencies you wish to experiment with for the length of time you want to run them. The BCX handheld plasma ray tubes and RF radio carrier